Hello, I am Dr. Wilhelmina, and I have a friend that's with me.
Oh,
Friend, your friend today. Please introduce
okay.
yourself, friend.
Hey, everybody. It's Coach Felicia. Yeah, my friend. I've graduated. I've been behaving myself. Now, anyway, hey, it's nice to be here. I'm so happy to be back again. So as always, thanks a lot for. I'm really excited to do this episode because this is. I think all of the episodes have been pretty good.
Yeah,
I know they've given me an opportunity to
yes.
think about what happened in the experience.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, good to be here.
This is part 6.
Is it
Yes, part
already?
6.
Oh,
Yes, we
wow.
got to 6.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the insecurity that developed for us in this project, and then the also trusting yourself.
Hmm.
We had those issues with questioning whether we were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I know for me, just talking about my insecurity, my real insecurity was focused towards, was I good enough? Was I, the things that I was doing to be a part. I came in positive, confident, like I had a little experience. Okay, I'm gonna be okay through this. I'm just gonna learn as much as I can, and it's gonna be great. And then after a while, I started being insecure and questioning whether I had the right subject, whether I was doing the right thing, and being in this whole project. And so I want to talk about that.
Yeah. So, I say keep going with that. So, why do you think that what triggered it for you to, what was the first thing that you realized or recognized that made you have that, it's like that little feeling like, ooh.
I think at first it was because I didn't have the time because I had to work,
Mm,
and the time schedules were off because I was in Hawaii and y'all were on the mainland, and it was just too far off for me to be there all the time when it was time to happen. And then the way that she was reacting
mhm.
to me, that person that brought us in, how she was reacting to me in that way. So it started being like, am I going to miss out? Am I going to lose something because I'm not there? Am I not good enough for this or whatever?
Mhm.
And then I think when we started, especially when we started doing videos for the app.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't going to go on the app, but it was a practice for the app.
Mhm.
That stuff, I had a problem when they started critiquing me on all the little things they thought I should be doing, and I started thinking I can't do what they want me to do,
Mhm.
and so I started thinking maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just quit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And they were on LA time. They're in LA.
yeah,
I don't know that they're necessarily I don't think they're there anymore. I think they're in the South now.
yeah,
But it's like I think I felt some of what you were feeling too. I think there were quite a few women, but there were some true gems that could
yeah.
just sit down in front of the camera and
Hmm.
spit it out. And it was like, wow,
Yeah,
wow. So I think part of it for me is, I'm really comfortable in things that um, I know how to do, things that are, you're doing on a regular basis, right?
yeah,
But then getting in front of the camera, and even I'll say, even in us doing this
yeah,
is something that um, I always say that I'm really happy that that we decided to do this because it gives me more experience in getting in front of the camera. I don't have a problem speaking on the phone or, doing something like that, right?
yeah,
But it's like I would look at some of the other snippets
yeah.
and wow, she's so good.
I know.
Oh, they pulled me into their clip, and it's like, yay, good job, way to go.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think I I say all of that to say that it was the comparison, right?
Hmm.
Not in a bad way, but it was like, am I, can I get to there, right?
Yeah.
And I believed I could. Um, but I struggled with it
Yeah.
because it was outside of my comfort. It was,
Right.
yeah, or my place of comfort, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. There
So
was one person that was just blew it out the park, like,
brilliant.
and doesn't even know that that's who they are. They talk the talk, but they're not walking the walk. They're letting it stay stagnant when they could be. I'm telling you, this person could be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I yeah, I agree. I,
Yeah, just from all of the videos I saw during the
yeah,
whole process, that one is still in my head.
mine too.
And
Mine
I,
too. I can see the background. I
yeah,
can see the background was like
that,
beautiful. It blended with her, the attire,
yes,
and it was really
absolutely.
Mhm.
She's wonderful.
She
And
could have her own talk show, you know.
she could.
I think she could.
And I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Without
you
going
know,
into
I
more,
mean, yeah,
it's
if she wants it, you know, who knows?
she
We may
could.
look up and she might
If
be,
she wanted, she could. She's that bad.
yeah,
But she just, I know she knows cognitively she is, but maybe not in her heart does she feel really believe it. But she is.
yeah. But
She's good.
I think that's interesting though, because it's like I think that's one of those things that we all,
Yeah.
uh, you know, there are parts of us that it's like you second guess, like even in
Hmm.
what we're talking about, you second guess,
Hmm.
like, okay, well, who am I to do? I
Yeah.
don't really, it doesn't feel right. And sometimes things don't feel right when you're starting something new. And although we know that,
Yeah.
we still struggle with it,
Yeah.
you know, until you get past a certain, it's like, oh, like when I see you and you're, you know, when you're doing posting your videos and things on like your social media platforms, and I'm like, wow, oh my. And it's just, it doesn't have to be long, right? But
No.
it's like you
It's
get a,
never. It's never long if it's me. It's not going.
yeah, but you're still doing it, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, so it's like trusting yourself. And yeah, that's where I think I kind of found that, you know, when I think back to that time, and I mean, the only reason we're really going back to that time is because we want to share this information. Otherwise, I'm
Right.
not gonna, you know, I don't go and ruminate about it, you know.
No. No.
But when I think about that, I think about how I was starting to, the internal dialogue that was starting to happen with me. And I'm like, whoa, this doesn't feel right. And then when I would see it with other women and how she would critique in a negative way, it was
Yeah.
like, it wasn't, and not that you had to be coddled. I mean, right? Because we're not
Right.
expecting to be like pampered through it,
Right.
but to be able to give constructive criticism, you know, in a positive way. I think you
Right.
can help somebody tweak what they're working on, right, in a more positive way. Yeah.
Right. Don't knock them down. You don't have to knock them down to tell them what they need to change or what you feel they need to change. You know, give them that advice.
And she was short, and I think that was part of it too, because like you could tell that they were frustrated,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
definitely
it's
was.
like, oh, why is she so snappy? You know? It's like,
Mine was, what are you looking at?
oh yeah,
What are you looking
right,
at?
right,
Like
yeah,
the camera, the screen, myself.
hmm
And in
hmm
this case, you, while I'm talking to you, I'm looking at you.
right.
Yeah.
Um, but then, Rena, it's like, do you ever think in going through that, and I think this is important as well for people to ask themselves, should they find themselves in that kind of a position or in that type of a, yeah, position, I guess, right? Is because this is what I ask myself, like, where was that feeling coming from? Right. It's
Yeah.
like for me, you know, growing up, you know, kids can be mean.
Hmm.
Many of us have endured being bullied. And I think for me, it's like some of the things, like I went into the file cabinet. You know, that's what I call it. It's like in your brain, there's like a file cabinet. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. That
It's supposed to
we've
be
heard something,
locked.
right? It's like, no, we've heard something like that before. Come on, let's go through here. Let's find it. Oh, whoa, remember this? Okay,
Yeah.
this is same type of personality, same behavior, right? And I think that's what happened for me. It's like it started triggering some things. Like, wait a minute, this done. I've been here before, or something like this, and I don't like it. And I'm
No.
the big Felicia now.
Yeah.
It's not little me. I don't know. How did you feel about that? Did you?
Well, I can remember in high school, I don't remember what I was talking about, but one of our RAs, well, was it RA? Well, I don't know. I want to say they were called RAs. I don't really know why that's in my head, but I think we called them that. But one of the teachers had asked me to do a speech, and I was excited and I was ready. I didn't even know this was going to happen. So I go, I'm in the auditorium. It was all of our class there. It was the bleachers were full,
Hmm.
and I go to speak, and I'm talking.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, they start bullying, nagging, and
You?
saying things. Yes. And I'm standing there, and then before you know it, I was like, fuck this. I'm out of here. I was like, here. I gave the mic to them and walked off. I was scared. And so I can tell you, even through my jobs, because the work that I do, I have to do trainings and briefings. Every job I've had to do it. But I can tell you, even to today,
Mm.
I am still like everybody's nervous. They get up, they're nervous when they speak at first.
Hmm.
But mine is really internal. So I'm going through it. My heart's beating really fast. My heart's beating now as I talk about it, but it beats really fast. And then I forget everything I was going to say, so I always have to have slides or something or cards in my hand. And I go back to that day I was in the gym or it was the gym, not the auditorium. It was our auditorium at school was the gym. So go to the gym
Hmm.
and in the bleachers, I'm there again and everybody, and I had a suit on and I can remember everything. So, yeah, so that's me. And so I had to learn, I got a mentor, someone that I saw that was a lot like me, but more comfortable speaking, or at least appeared to be, right?
Hmm.
So I had talked to him and he helped me. He helped me a lot. And it was 2 sessions. It wasn't even like he was mentored me for years or months. It was just 2 different sessions we had. And
Oh
it was
wow.
yeah, that was it. And it was just because I can do it. I did have it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was just I was letting the nerves get the best of me and my slides had I inherited them. They had a lot of mistakes on them, so that didn't help because people would see that and yeah. So, yeah.
Mhm.
So I got better over
Mhm.
time, and even now I still get just as nervous. It's just the insecurities. It's the
Yeah.
insecurities that will always be there about speaking in front of people. This is easy. I can talk all day in front of this camera, and nobody else is with me. Usually, I can say what I want, whatever. But
Really?
yeah,
And mine is the opposite.
what?
I have no problem talking in front of a crowd.
Yeah,
But I think, and it's okay for me doing this here because you're here. So
yeah,
and even though somebody would, if she was looking at this, she'd say, look at that camera. But I'm
yeah,
looking at you.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
looking at you.
I let that go a long time
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah.
Either you
So,
listen or you don't.
yeah. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, I could speak in front of a crowd, but like the camera and like looking, seeing me looking back, it's like,
Yeah,
but also it's like when I was doing voiceover work,
yeah,
um, I never like to listen to my own
yeah,
audio. I
yeah,
don't, it's like, well, did you listen to it? It's like, no, 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 I don't want to listen to it.
yeah.
You're the one, you're the studio guy. If you find the mistakes, you're getting paid for the studio time. You fix it. Or
I
you tell
agree.
me where I need to repeat it, you know?
I
So,
definitely agree with that. When it comes to that, I don't want to hear my voice.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
What is
don't know.
that?
What?
What is that about? Hearing your voice.
I don't know, but you know what? I do know that there are a lot of artists. I've heard other like musical artists,
Yeah.
who have said they don't like listening to
Oh, wow.
like in the car, or they don't
Yeah.
like listening to their music. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not sure. That would be
I don't
we
get
should
that
find that.
either.
Yeah.
But
So,
I'm the same.
but yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, the insecurity is huge, and I think when we have that insecurity, it's really easy for us to in a sense, fall prey. Not,
Yeah.
not in a sense. Let's just call it black and white, right?
Yeah.
Because there are people in the world, right? Not just this particular individual. There are lots of people in the
Yeah.
world that they can see it. They've
Yeah.
been practice. This is something that they've been practicing their whole life. I think,
Yeah. Mhm.
because it was, I think, a coping mechanism for them,
Yeah.
depending on what their childhood was like.
Yeah.
So if they can know in advance, they can be a few steps ahead, and some of us are like da, 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 but they're like already, they're like, hey, I got this. I'm
I
gonna
got
take
you.
everything away.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, I just kind of wanted to balance it out like that. But yeah, and then the comparing yourself to others. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Let's take that off. I bumped it.
What is that? Somebody sending
My
you a message?
No, my watch. I bumped it on the wrist, and Siri started talking. So
Oh.
yeah, I know, right?
Hey
But
Siri.
yeah, but no, I just yeah, the insecurity, and then it's like you find yourself trying to get it down right. So I think what
Yeah.
happens with that is you start to develop this internal dialogue, right? Like, what is wrong with you? Can't you
Yeah.
get this? It's so simple. Everybody's saying it's well, not everybody, because I think we all had pretty good support for the most part. Every now and then you had some of the other ones in there
Yeah.
that would want to throw 2 cents in. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, 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 no. I thought we were working. I thought she's the main one.
She did correct him on that though. I remember
Yeah,
that.
she did.
While
She
she
did.
was talking and somebody tried to, oh, hell,
Hmm.
no.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but I also think that that was like her way of making sure that everybody knew that she was the one that was in charge
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, that perfectionism, and trying so hard to get it just right. Right. And
Yeah.
it's like, even with us doing this, it's like, yeah, I got this thing behind me just keeps waving. And it's like, we really don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care.
Yeah.
What's important for me in this thing is, or in this episode, or any of the episodes that we've done, is that we're able to convey some of
Yeah.
our experiences, so that other people don't bump their head. You know,
Yeah.
they're probably going to bump their head somewhere down the line. I think it's like inevitable for most of us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I have this area that I'm like, when it comes to movement, I can move forward, I can move backwards, I can go a little this way or that way, but it's a little box for me. Just stay
yeah,
in
I know.
it.
I keep bouncing, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. What else do we want to share with them today when it comes to the insecurity, though, that we felt?
Well, it's hard not to let people get into your head.
Mm.
So that's a thing. Sometimes they do it accidentally, sometimes it's intentional. So if you're in a situation where it's competitive, which it was for us, it was definitely competitive. So people really think about those things. Like, I don't know, I don't roll that way. So the way I roll is, I say this all the time, I'm running my own race. I'm
Mm.
not comparing myself to what other people are doing, but sometimes other people come into your space and try to throw you off.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm not expecting that. I'm just like living my life, doing my thing. I'm not expecting anyone to come up and do anything or say anything that would do that to me. So I'm really like just doing what I have to do. But every now and then they get in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that was something that I really didn't like about it so much.
Yeah.
I didn't like, because I agree with you on that. I'm kind of like that. I'm usually in my own little world. Like if I go and I do a 5K, not to get too far off track here, but like if I do a 5K, I'm not trying to be number one. I'm covering the distance, and I challenge myself for,
Yeah.
like, if the last time that I ran the 5K was 32 minutes, my thoughts are, okay, let's see if we could do it in 31.
Yeah.
But that's for me, right? It's not to outdo anybody else, and so even when I've worked with, I don't know, I haven't worked with a lot of groups,
Yeah.
and I don't mind being in the groups, but for me, sometimes it's like having that. that group dynamic. It's you have personalities that are in there, and sometimes people think that you're competing, and like you said,
Yeah,
you're not
and you're
competing.
not. You just
Mm-mm, you're not competing.
you're not.
Yeah. So,
Now,
yeah, that was interesting.
I was very competitive when I ran track. And of course, that's another thing. So when I would get up and have to train or brief people today as an adult or whatever,
Hmm.
um, when I was younger in college and doing track, even younger than that, when I stepped to that line, the
Oh.
heart is racing. I'm anxious. I'm ready to go. I got all these movements going on. That's how I feel when I get in front of a crowd of people and have to speak. I don't care what it's about, even if I know the subject really well, it's like I
Mhm.
forget everything. And it's just that same feeling of stepping up to a line. And
Really?
yeah, it's the same.
Wow.
But I
Wow.
find a way to make it work. But what I was gonna say is I was really competitive during that time, and I still have a record at my college, at my university. Still have a record.
For what? For what?
Okay,
What did you do?
for high jump. It wasn't for running, but
Oh my
for high
goodness.
jump. And
Oh
it's
my.
just like, yeah, I do. I still have that record. And I was very competitive at that time and all the anxiety and everything. But these days I am just living my life and trying to be happy. Even when the negative stuff comes, I'm trying to push through it and still be happy and have a good life. And
Hmm.
I'm not focused on trying to compete with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just, because you know what? This is the other thing. I know whatever I put my mind to, whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do well, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna do my very best to do well. So I'm not. It's not me. Oh, how's she doing? How he's doing, or whatever. I'm just doing my thing and
Hmm.
doing things I need to do for myself. Like
Right.
I'm in school again.
Yeah.
There's a purpose to it. It's not just because I need to be forever in school because I. It is not easy at this age trying to do some memorizing of material. It's hard. And I have to memorize because there's a test at the end, there's a license at the end, so I have to do this. So yeah, I
Mm.
just do what I need to do to get ahead, to do what I have to do to do better. And so when I retire from my civilian job with the military, I'm gonna use that.
Wow. Yeah. I think you're a bit, I think you know a lot of that already, but this is like
Yeah.
the technical
Oh
part,
yeah.
right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, this is the technical. So I can, yeah, I think that's awesome though. But I also think that I don't know. I know I will be a life learner,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm not going back to school after this.
Uh yeah.
Except if I want to do
Now you're going back.
injections or something like that, little 1 day classes or whatever. If I want to do something
Right.
that's higher level, then I will have to go back to school. But
Yeah.
for now, this is
Yeah.
it. This is really it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Um this is I don't know. Well, you have any more that you want to share with us? Maybe some
Well, I
takeaways
just
or
think
something
that
for the
people need to. I'm gonna tell you what you need to do right now. I normally not. You need to do this. No, I'm telling you now. You need to trust yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You can get advice from other people and get information that's going to help you get to where you want to go, but you really have to trust yourself and relax. Relax. You got this.
Yeah.
You got this. Just do it. And once you've done it once, you've done it twice, you've done it 3 times, before you know, you're just rolling through it. Now you might still have that little anxiety thing, like
Hmm.
stepping up to the line. It might not go away. You might have it for all your life. But just remember, practice makes perfect. Okay, maybe not perfect, but makes you better.
Yes.
Practicing, doing it, repetition will help you even with remembering things. It just will come off natural. And just relax and be yourself. That's what I found that worked best for me after I was with the mentor. Because what happened was I had a supervisor that used to correct my words.
Mm.
So she'd say, "How you doing?" I'd say, "Oh, I'm good." You mean well, that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So um, it really made me uncomfortable. I can tell you that that's the most uncomfortable I've been in any job, was working with her. But it was like I was a kid again. Like now
Mm,
I'm worried about what everybody's thinking, and you know, she's so critical. But what I found after doing this mentoring session is that just relax and be me. And I started doing it and I was fine. I was just being myself, using my own speech, not worrying about every single word I said, just comfortable. And then I got a friend that I worked with. She joined me and we did it together. And of course, it went really well. We played off each other and we didn't practice it either. We just, each one took a slide, each slide, you know, we did our thing. And it worked really well once I started doing it with her. And then I started doing it again by myself. And I was able to just relax and,
mm,
you know, have a good time and get the audience involved and everything. And it was just different because I had met with that person and I calmed
wow.
down and be myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, it is. I mean, of course, I agree with you on that because,
Yeah.
we've talked about it in the past and,
Hmm.
even present
Yeah.
is trusting yourself. And it's like there's I don't know which, what do I want to say? I don't know on which social media platform I have. It might be on my Facebook that I have a quote where I say the toughest job you'll ever have is, I think it's dismantling the beliefs
Yes.
that were never yours, and it's like what you said, it's like people will give you tips and advice and all of this stuff, and it's like as you continue to take it all, it's okay to to hear it, to appreciate the information that's being passed on, but then you have to have some discernment with where
Yeah.
you're going to place that. Some of it you may not even need to keep in your mental cabinet. You know what I mean? And you go based on, I'm always talking about the body. I'm gonna go there
Yeah.
before we get
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, and to feel what you feel in your body. And it's like,
Yeah.
and there have been times, as much as I talk about it, there have been times where I have jumped the track on that.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, and I could feel it, but it's like, no, 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 I'm gonna push through anyway. I'm gonna do this anyway, even though I'm feeling something different. Right. But
Hmm.
like, it doesn't lie to you. It
Right.
doesn't lie. And it's like, and it takes a while sometimes to really understand that,
Yeah.
for a lot of folks, even folks who have been doing it for a while and they know it to be true. It
Hmm.
depends on where you are mentally, what's happening in your life. There are so many variables that come into place, when someone like the person that we experience shows up,
Yeah.
and if they catch you in that position, oh wow. Yeah. It's like they catch you off guard, kind of like we say, catch you off guard.
Yeah. And then like linking those thoughts with
Hmm.
that body, how your body's reacting and knowing, okay, oh, this is why that happens. And
Yeah.
this is what's going on with me. This is it. It's
Hmm.
connected, right? You don't always know what it is. You just know that it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
and one thing about my mentor, when I picked him, I was thinking about, I think what I was worried about is I didn't want people to think, okay, bear with me. I didn't want people to think I was stupid. And I know I'm not stupid, but that's the cognitive part. I'm not
Hmm.
stupid. But at the same time, you go back to those memories and then it's, you're stupid then, right?
Hmm.
So one of the things I found was that this guy, when I've seen him
Hmm.
brief, he was charismatic. He wasn't proper, but he spoke well. And I thought, so he was a Q also, an Omega from the fraternity. And he had swagger, you know, he was just, and I'm just like, okay, he has come from a background, probably from like me, but he's just comfortable, right? And good at what he was doing. And so that's how I chose him. My boss kept telling me, because there was this guy that had um, retired from the Air Force and he was doing well. He was making moves through the command. He was rising. And she's like, maybe you should have him as a mentor. I was
Oh.
like, no, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to do what's best for me. And I asked this man, can you mentor me? And yeah, after 2 sessions, that was it. Not that I don't need a mentor at any other time,
Mm-hmm.
but for that particular issue,
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Oh wow.
And it helped me. And yeah, I'm just saying, it's good to listen to the advice people give you, and if you can implement it into your life and it works, great.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you got to think about who you are and what works for you,
Mm-hmm.
how you can make this better, but at the same time, it's got to work for you. That guy that was in the Air Force, just because we were both in the Air Force and he retired, we both retired, didn't mean that he was right for me.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
this other man was perfect. So I just want to say
No.
that you have to think about it. Don't just run around doing what everybody's telling you to do, hopping from this, hopping from that. Think about
Mm-hmm.
your situation and where your deficits are and where you think you could use the help.
Yeah.
Now
No,
what you
I
think?
agree. I
Yeah,
agree 100% on that. Because it's like also, I'm just going to take it to like when you decide to find a coach, if you find a
yeah,
coach, whether it's for becoming more fit or weight loss, or like you're
mhm,
stuck in some spot in life and you can't get out of it, it's so important to have that conversation and to pay attention to what you're feeling, even when you're talking to that coach, right? Because the coach could
mhm,
be in the best of shape. They don't have to be in the best of shape, but they could have all the knowledge, right? But paying attention to how you're feeling when you're talking to that person and then making a decision. And there's no coach, well, there are a lot
yeah,
of coaches that will put the pressure on, but it's like, if they put the pressure on, then maybe that's a sign for you to step back, right?
yeah,
Because when you're ready, it just and it's the personality, personality, it needs to like, you need to mesh with each other, right? Because you need to be ready and willing to buy what they're selling, and you're going to do what it is that you're coming to them, and they're what they're offering you as well, right?
right.
So it's like it's a good mix. So yeah,
I
no, that's
can't
great. I'm excited that you.
I can't do anything with anybody that I think is judging me. If you are judging me, anything you say, anything that comes out of your mouth
Mhm.
is not going to be useful to me.
Like the hardcore, yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't.
not I'm not able to deal with that because that's part of something that is inside of me that when I see people do posts or videos and it's just a total judge. Now, if it's a jokey joke, okay,
Mhm.
but when they're judging,
Mhm.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do anything. But with the exception of the election,
Nah.
we're not going there. But
We're not going
with
there.
the exception of that, I can handle
Yeah.
it.
I
And
think we
I
have
am
we have that all over social media right now.
yes, and I am stereotypical. So whatever you think I think or that's it.
Stop.
Let's just be real. I fit the stereotype. I can't talk about those kind of things anyway because of my job.
Oh, right, right. Yeah,
So, but I have a small window now where I can be more open about it because I'm still a supervisor, but there's no election. It's done.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then once I get, once he gets in, then I have to shut it off.
yeah. That might that might not be. I don't know. I want to say that might not be a bad topic down the line,
I
you
don't
know.
know.
But I think
I,
I think that
I'm not ready.
there's so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not ready.
There's so many. Just the emotions right now are just so,
For that.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't
Mm.
right now because
No, 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 no. It's not. I'm not even. I'm
no time.
saying that's why it's like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. As I said, stereotypical. If you think it's true.
Stop.
I'm just full disclosure here.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But
but
okay.
yeah. So, insecurity. I
Yeah.
hope you picked up something, some tips from us. What do we say? Trust yourself.
Trust
Trust
yourself.
yourself. Listen to your body. That gut feeling. If it's not the
Which is
gut, it's just a feeling somewhere in your body. It doesn't have to necessarily be in your gut.
mm-hmm.
It could be your heart space
Yeah.
that's telling you, pass this one up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. Right? A little whisper
Mm-hmm.
mentally in your ear, and you're like, whoa.
And that's part of your research, paying
Hmm.
attention.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Pay attention and listening to and for what's not being said.
Yes. Yes. What's missing?
Hmm.
Because our project was missing. There was a lot of talking around it. And finally when it was talked about,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
still no real results. Some
Mm-mm.
cartoon pictures,
Yeah.
but nothing real. So
No. And then they would. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
another
There was,
subject. We
yeah,
could go on
because they
another
would jump.
hour.
They would jump. They were jumping all over the place to different
Yes. Yeah.
things. So, but yeah, yeah. Trust yourself. Pay attention to your body. When it comes to comparison, and I know I don't know exactly the quote, but it's like comparison
Is
is
that
it
the joy thief?
the thief of joy? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all know, you know what I mean.
I think. I'm just saying. I think it is.
I think it is
Yeah, I
something
think
like that.
comparison is a joy thief. Yeah.
But and it's like, even if we don't have the quote right, it's like, think
Yeah.
about it. When you're comparing, does it steal your joy? Yeah,
Yes.
because you're busy comparing, so you can't even feel the joy that you have.
And
So it's
nobody
really,
can be you. You gotta be you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you really are special. I know I could be in La La Land right now, but I don't think I am. This is something in the way that
Yo, you're
I
special.
kind of go through. I think everybody has something to offer this world. I really do. I
Yeah.
think everybody, you are a gift. You are a gift. And it's uh, being willing to recognize or see it
Yeah.
without the input of everyone else telling you what it's not and what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's when you see it's like, wow, I'm not so bad. I'm actually
Yeah.
pretty good, So yeah, recognizing that you don't have to be jealous of anybody.
No.
And it's like, if you find yourself being jealous of someone, ask yourself why.
Yeah. Why?
Why?
Exactly. Why?
What I mean, it's and it could really be when you're feeling that feeling of jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that there's something about that person. Just try and switch it around where it's like, what is it about her that I like?
Yes.
Look at the what you
Something
like
you
about her,
admire.
him, or whoever. I mean, it could be anybody, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do I like about them? You
Yeah.
know, what can I learn as I
Yeah.
recognize what I like about them? Not to necessarily copy it or anything, because you're gonna have your own
Your own
uh,
twist.
yeah, your own style twist about
Yeah.
it, so just be grateful. Be grateful for what you have, and most importantly with this session though, it's like, yeah, I go back to trusting yourself,
Yeah.
and
Trust
the
yourself.
insecurity, you'll build on it. You'll build on
Mhm.
it. Just do small things. Start putting in a little bit of work, looking for information on it, and I will tell you, if you uh, like you with your mentor,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say hands down, and this is not me trying to, what do you call it, put a plug in or anything. A coach, a mentor, sometimes, many times, I think, if you find the right one and the one that works for you, it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
really is a game changer,
Yeah.
right? Because and you don't have to have a coach forever, right?
Right.
Like, you went twice, right? You
Yeah.
go, you work with this coach, and if they're able to, if you guys click and you've told them this is what I struggle with, or whatever the case may be, you guys got to work with that. It could be 2 sessions, it could be one.
Yeah.
It may be six. Who knows? It all depends, on where you are and how good the fit is with you guys. And if you're doing the work that you're supposed to do, whatever kind of, I don't know, homework assignments or whatever your coach gives you. But yeah, it invest in yourself. If
Yeah.
you're being challenged in some areas, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
It is. It really is.
Hmm.
It was for me. So.
Yeah.
So I
That
guess
was
we.
new. I didn't know that. That was new. So
Oh,
I have to
yes.
talk to you about that more. Yeah. Cool.
Sometimes stuff comes out because I'm pretty open and I'll talk about whatever. Not
Yeah.
everything, but some things, and it just comes. Hey, guess what? This is where I struggled. You might be struggling there too. It's okay.
Mhm.
Get help when you need help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But look for,
yeah,
listen to, listen for.
yes,
Just the
definitely,
last reminder. Yeah. Listen for that.
definitely. So we'll be back again with session 7, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope you, whatever you can use from this. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to add to the comments and keep your chin up and trust yourself.
Share with others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Okay.
you. Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.